Hello YouTubers! Alright, today I'm going to show you how to stop programs from running in the background and using up valuable resources like memory and CPU usage. It works exactly the same in Windows 7 and Vista. XP is a little bit different. If you go to the Do-It-Yourself PC channel, I did make a video on how to do it on XP. Just look for how to stop programs from running. Okay, so in 7 in Vista, you'll click circle thing and you go to administrative tools. If administrative tools is not here, you go to control panel, then go to administrative tools. Alright, under here you'll see system configuration. Double click it, and at the very top you see general boot services startup tools. The one we want to go to is startup. And in here you'll see a list of everything that runs in the background on your computer without you knowing about it. Pretty cool. If it's cut off like it is here and you want to see what it completely is, if you move up here to startup items and move your mouse to the right until you get this little icon, just left click, hold the left mouse button down and drag it to the right, and you can read everything. Over here, if you want to know where it's at, just do the same thing. Just go on command, move your mouse to the right until you get that little guy. Hold your left mouse button down and drag it to the right, and it'll tell you where it is. Alright, well, let's get started. Log me in. That's a free remote desktop thing. I'll get into that later. Adobe Acrobat, I need it, but I don't need it running. QuickTime, I need it, but not running. The sidebar, it's this thing here. I don't need it, but I like it, so I keep that. Camtasia Studio, that's my recording software, so I can make these awesome videos that you love so much. Google Updater, you really don't need it. I keep it just for the heck of it. Windows Live Messenger, you definitely don't need that unless you use Messenger and you want it to run all the time. Stardock Object Dock, that's this little thing up here. I'll make a video on how to get that and install it and configure it the way you like it. It's actually a very, very handy tool. The rest of them in here are Groove Monitor, that's part of Office. Unless you use Groove, you really don't need it. All it does is scan your hard drive 24/7. Nero Home, you don't need that running. iTunes, you don't need it running. That's the iTunes helper, but still, you don't need it running. Nero Back It Up, you don't need it unless you use Nero to back up stuff, which, who does that? Nero AG Nero Check, you don't need it running. Power ISO Virtual Drive, you don't need none of this stuff running. My VM workstations, I use it, but I don't need it running. So once you get everything unchecked you don't want running, just come down here and click Apply and OK. And there you go. That's how you stop programs from running in the background. There is another way to do it. I'll go ahead and show it to you. You click circle thing, then in the search box here you type regedit, REGEDIT. Hit enter. I'll click yes to your security thing. Then you go to HKey local machine, click the little arrow, go to software, click the little arrow, come down to Microsoft, click the little arrow, and you're going to look for shared tools. There it is. Click the little arrow. And now just scroll it over so you can read everything. And you're looking for msconfig. So click the little arrow and click services. Well, I have nothing there, but if you have stuff there, just go through it and delete what you don't want to run in the background. If you don't know what it is, I would really recommend you go to Google and type in the exact name that you see here and see what it is before you delete it. Startup folder, nothing there, but do the same thing that you did there with services. Startup reg is where you're probably going to have a lot of happy things. If you click the Adobe Reader Speed Launcher, wow, Speed Launcher. Adobe does not open that slow to begin with, so delete it. Delete the actual folder on the left hand side. Just right click and left click delete and click yes. Groove monitor. Groovy. Just right click it and delete. Yes. The index store. Blah, blah, blah. That, if you don't know what that is, if you look on the right hand side and look for this command, string value, and double click it, and if you scroll to your left, it'll tell you it is part of Nero. If you don't want to do all the happy scrolling, you can just look to the right under data and just hover your mouse over it. As you can see, it'll pop up the full path, and you can see there it is part of Nero. I don't want anything Nero running, so right click it and delete and yes. iTunes Helper, nope, delete it. Messenger, nope. MB key scan, so you don't know what that is, again look to the right, it's part of Nero. So right click it, delete. Nero filter, and Nero kind of takes over your computer here. Alright, we have Parisvam. If you don't know what that is, just go command again and hover over and it'll tell you power ISO. Don't really need that running. QuickTime tasks. Don't need QuickTime doing any tasks except what I tell it to do. If you don't know what the Sun Java Update sked is, again go to command and it'll tell you it's part of Java. Well, you don't need Java running in the background. It's a web thing. We'll get into that later. VM happy things. You don't need my VM workstation running, so we delete all that happy stuff. Well, there you go. We've deleted everything. There might be things in there that you want running. Off the top of my head, I really can't think of anything. Maybe except if you have an HP printer. You might want the HP monitor, I think it's called. You might want it running. That's the little thingy that pops up and tells you when your ink levels are low or empty. There might be something with, I don't know, if you have a NVIDIA video card like I do, but I don't have the proper NVIDIA drivers installed, you'll have something here called NWiz. That's your NVIDIA control console. You can do all kinds of happy things with it. You probably want to keep it there. And some other things, just like I said, if you have trouble with this, just email me with at whotookthenames2000@gmail.com and just tell me what it is, and I'll be happy to tell you if you need it or not. Alright, YouTube, well, that's how you stop programs from running in the background. If there's anything you don't know how to do and want to learn how to do, feel free to leave a comment telling me what it is, or send me an email at whotookthenames2000@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to make a video for you. Alright, thanks YouTube, and good night.